It is Wednesday, July 16th, as we sit here the day after history is made in Atlanta at the MLB All-Star Game. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Some people are going to talk about it on this very program right here. And we turn to the second half of the baseball season, but not before we can look back at the first half of the baseball season. Plenty of stuff to talk about today, including some religious sports experiences. Mac's going to lead us on a really weird game, which anytime Matt does anything on this show, if you've been watching long enough, we have no idea what the hell he's going to do. We have no idea who the hell he's going to pick in certain instances. That's why he's Vegas Mac. What is going on, man?
Not much. Quite an interesting night, that's to say the least. It's been a quite interesting day so far today. We've learned some things, and some teams now have a little bit of extra money in the NBA. We learned that a while ago, but I got a few things to talk about last night.
I'm sure you do. TJ, how was your All-Star Tuesday night?
Probably on a scale of 1 to Mac losing his mind, it's probably right below that.
Oh, that is a that's a dangerous range here, and I'm pretty sure I can figure out why. And let's get into it, shall we? And the Major League Baseball All-Star Game last night goes to the National League 7-6 in extras. But the extras were a little bit different than we've seen them before. We got to see a swing off. I almost said the thing that Mac likes to call it, and I'm not going to do that.
No.
Whereas the National League does take
all right, I'll
win.
say it.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. That way we can blame you. It's always better to blame Mac for stuff on this show.
It was a jack off. It was a jack off. That's what it was. You go hitting jacks. Jack off.
And I have zero problem with it. I do have a little bit of a problem with, and I think this is where most of the people that are complaining about it, I think this is where most of the complaints come from. I'm not speaking for you two, but I think of who was in said jack off. You're such an idiot. And we love you. I think it was the guys that were in it. Now, apparently this was predetermined. It had to be predetermined before the game. Some guys were not available to participate. So I'm sure, and this is no shade on him because he's had an incredible year, but I'm sure people would have rather seen Shohei Ohtani hit than Kyle Stowers hit from the Marlins. Stowers, I probably butchered it both sides of today, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was entertaining. What a concept, a predetermined number of swings, no time on the clock, and people were losing their ever-loving minds. And to use something, Mac, that our guy, Worldwide Rob Perez dropped last night. Hey, NBA, are you watching this? I mean, we talked about baseball being ahead of the curve yesterday, Mac. I think it was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, the thing about the curveball, it's sometimes hard to hit. And here's so let me back up. Here's the first problem I have with it. They used it on the wrong night. Okay, that's my first problem. The first problem is you had a home run derby where you eliminated, because Peter Pencil Pusher said that the home run only went this far and not this far. Okay, you eliminated Brent Rooker because of math. This is where the hit off, home run off, jack off, whatever you want to call it, should have been used. Two guys go out, 3 swings, and you could have determined who won, not by Teddy Pencil Pusher, who said it went this far, and we don't really even know. That's the first part that I thought was stupid. Okay, they used it on the wrong night. Number two, I'll give credit. The concept is cool. I understand it, but don't tell me, number one, that the National League won the game. Okay, they did not. The game was a tie. Let's just be honest and say what it is. It was a tie. You want to do all that other extra stuff? That's fine. I know it's an exhibition game. I know it doesn't matter. That's fine. I mean, this is something you see in the backyard of the 4th of July with the wiffle ball game. That's all this was. Okay? It was like looking for clicks is all it was. It was not necessary. We didn't have to do it. Just look, it was a great game. You ruined a great game by some trivial jack off.
T, go ahead, man. I feel for you when you have to follow him, but go ahead.
I think it was unfortunate. The game was a snoozer until the 7th, I think it was, and then it got good. But I had just mentioned how the 1994 All-Star game was one of my favorites because it was ended in extra innings with the Alou double and Gwynn scoring the run. And then we get to extra innings this time, and now there's no extra innings. In the players' defense, or in baseball's defense, this was collectively bargained as part of the All-Star game now. So the only people that we, the fans, should be upset at is the players and the management. That's who we should be upset at about this. Because, yeah, I would have been okay with go throw your guy on second base, your non-ghost runner, and go have at it. But it was unfortunate, and I didn't know it was happening until it happened. And I think that I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So, yeah, it was just kind of an unfortunate way to finish off what turned out to be a decent game at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was. The National League looked like they were cruising especially after Pete Alonso hit his 3-run homer, and the American League battled back to tie it. And I think it was kind of fitting, and outside of obviously the biggest talking point right now, which was the swing off, for lack of a better term.
Like that's any better. Swing off.
Brent Rooker, Randy Arozarena, and Jonathan Aranda of the Rays for the American League that totaled 3 home runs. Aranda didn't get any, which gave the National League the win after Kyle Schwarber did Kyle Schwarber things and made sure Pete Alonso didn't have to participate in the swing off. I mean, people were standing. The place was electric. I think baseball got everything that they absolutely could have dreamt out of this. And on a night where they did a very, very fitting and I thought very well done tribute to Hank Aaron in Atlanta, and we get the first All-Star game that ends in a swing off. So lots to talk about the game last night. We'll go around the room. T, I'll start with you. Outside of the swing off, what was a couple of the telling points of the game for you?
I liked the tribute to Hank Aaron. I thought that was super cool. And I liked how Roberts pulled Kershaw and Freeman to allow them to get their flowers, especially Freeman, is coming back to Atlanta, and he played there for so long. The fans still love him there. So I thought that was really cool. I thought Roberts did a good job with that. But yeah, that was pretty much outside of the whatever you want to call it, swing your whatever. Yeah.
Mac, do you have anything you actually liked about the game last night?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, when they had Clayton Kershaw mic'd up and he was pitching, that's really, really hard to do. I mean, you're going against, some of the best hitters in baseball. And, it was kind of funny. He asked John Smoltz, what pitch do you want here? And he goes, throw a cutter. He goes, well, I don't throw a cutter. I'll throw a slider. That part was kind of cool. Like certain guys are really good with the mic. There's other guys when they're on the mic, they're not as good. That part, I like the mic'd up guys like in games like this, like in spring training. I don't like it during the season. That to me, I don't think is something that needs to be done. But like in an all-star game like this, I mean, I think it's fun. But that part with Clayton Kershaw was really, really good. I always like, and Major League Baseball has done this for a while now. I don't know what to call it, but when they all stand up and they have the signs for the cancer and they put the person's name on there, that to me, I'll never forget the one time I saw it and it just broke me down because one of my favorite players of all time, Gary Carter, died of cancer. And I remember Ron Darling holding up the sign and it said, I forget what it actually says, but he said, my catcher, and like that just kind of really, really struck me. So to me, that's always a moment that I think is that Major League Baseball does a really good job with.
Yeah, feel free if you're watching along, share your thoughts on last night's game. What did you think of as Mac has termed it, the jack off last night for the first time in history? A lot of moments. I'm gonna go. T. You brought up Dave Roberts, and I got a bone to pick with Dave Roberts. How do you not pull Ronald Acuna in front of his home crowd the same way and give him a standing O? Second, why in the hell are you pulling Freddie Freeman when he's due up third in the next inning to get the standing O there? I mean, you don't think the people in Atlanta wanted to see Freeman get another at bat, maybe hit a home run? I mean, how that place would have lost their freaking minds if Freeman hit a home run last night. So, and maybe this is a little personal because, some of us had bets on Freddie Freeman to, hit a home run last night. But I mean, I think it's more telling to a player when, if he would have gotten that at bat, let's say he hit a double, which, I mean, T, you talked about that the other day. That's what Freddie Freeman does. He hits doubles, and then you pull him from second base at that time, or you send him out for the next inning. You have a pitcher throw a pitch. You let Boone know across the way in the dugout, hey, we're gonna throw a ball here so we can pull Freddie. I think there was a way better way to do it than he did it. But I will say this to both Boone and Robert's credit: the All-Star game and managing an All-Star roster is always a challenge. You're trying to get everybody equal time, equal love, the best you can. And again, we don't know. Certain guys are dealing with certain things, and the managers have their conversations like, hey, don't play him if you don't have to. We're cool if you don't. He's cool if you don't. So I think that's always hard to kind of gauge. Mac, you brought up something, and I think this is an interesting dichotomy, if you will, amongst the three of us here. I'm obviously, the younger of the three of us. So keep that in context here. I thought the mic'd up players. It is awesome in an all-star game, and that needs to continue. But I think mic'd up players needs to be something that we see more. And I know it is a challenge, especially with pitchers. I mean, when pitchers do it, it's amazing because you're so locked into target and your grip and getting all your fundamentals down so you can throw an effective pitch. But I would like to see more mic'd up players because I think it adds to the experience. I think it taps to the younger crowd that we're trying to, baseball is a generational thing. You want it to keep going through generations. We all know that. We all have kids, and it's how we got to love baseball. So I would like to see more of that. I thought the game was well played. I mean, Mac, you and I talked last night a little bit, and I don't know what the solution is to this, but I think the one thing that does kind of hurt the All-Star game and what T talked about yesterday is they can turn into kind of snooze fests because you have elite pitching on elite pitching. And I wish I could have been a fly on the wall last night watching that. But, it's how do you get more offense into the game would be kind of like, for me, how do we do this? How do we get more offense into the game, Mac? And I don't know if there is an answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I don't think there is. I mean, you've got, we talked, where our conversation went was kind of how the All-Star game has changed. I mean, it used to be the starters would at least get 2 at bats. The starting pitchers would go at least 3 innings. And so, you weren't getting guys, there's some innings where you're getting 2 or 3 pitching changes because, they want to get everybody in. And so, when you're facing, in essence, everybody's top pitcher, I mean, it's pretty difficult to get a read on what they're doing. That's part of it as well. So I don't really think I mean, going forward, I really don't think you're going to see a whole lot of all-star games that where you're going to get a lot of runs. It's just not the way that it's going to be. The pitching is too good for that to happen.
Well, then maybe they need to just start grooving pitches like in 2001 when Ripken and Gwynn were getting pitches grooved to them. So I don't remember who threw the pitch to Ripken, but I don't know what the answer is to more offense. In the 1994 All-Star game, Tony Gwynn started and got 5 at bats and was in at the end too. So I think there's certain players that maybe I know that the managing and getting everybody equal time, that's a huge thing, but some guys just deserve to be out there a little bit longer too. Like I thought Freddie Freeman probably deserved to be out there a little bit longer. I thought Acuna probably, the home guys, or maybe somebody like an Ohtani or a Judge or somebody like that. But that's, I don't know. But yeah, if you're just going to have elite pitching, striking out, elite hitting, then what are we doing? Then why have this exercise at all?
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, the other thing that I thought was interesting last night, because it was really the first time that we got to see it, and it was the challenging of the pitches, which I thought was quite interesting. But it brings me up to one of the things that I saw that, going forward, I'm a little concerned with, and I don't know how much you're going to tweak the system, but here's the strike zone. Okay, here's the strike zone, and there was a pitch last night that I got to get on the right side, like right here. It was like on the outside of the strike zone, and it was called a strike because, in essence, the ball was hitting the strike zone, and I have a problem with that. Okay, we tell pitchers to throw in the strike zone. We don't tell them to throw on the strike zone. Throw the ball in the strike zone. If going forward, I got to get on my camera. If this is a strike, to me, that's a problem. Okay, that's not a strike. Okay, a strike has to be where a good part of that ball is in the strike zone. We already have guys that can't hit 200, and if this technology is going to give us a strike, this is a strike. This is Greg Maddox's strike. Okay, so that was one of the things that I saw last night that I did like. I like the system. I think it works. But that's one of the things, the way the catchers frame now, it used to be, frame around, the target, and now they just move it up into the target. But that can't be a strike. And we saw it one, I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but somebody got called out and the ball was like a corner of it was barely on the outside of the strike zone. I love the system. I think it's a great system. I think it'll work, but I think that was a tweak of it that I didn't like.
Yeah, and hopefully it's something that's permanently included in the game, because I again, we talked about the progression. We talked about Manfred being very open and candid on the interview on Pat McAfee's show yesterday about where the game is, where the game's headed, and everything else. So next year, the All-Star game will move to Philadelphia. And then after that, it will be back at Wrigley Field. And the rumor is, if players are allowed to participate in the Olympics, that the game after that will be played at Oracle Park in San Francisco. So we continue this run of National League ballparks. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the American League has 2 minor league ballparks right now. That's neither here nor there. All right, Mac, as dangerous as this is all the time, you go ahead and lead us down your slippery slope. What do you have for me and T today? I always
so this one is this one is outside of the little contest we're going to have. But I had a question for both of you.
Okay.
Seeing the Hank Aaron thing last night was really, really cool. I want to know from of you guys, what Hall of Famer, like, and I know our generations are a little bit different, but what's the greatest Hall of Famer you've ever seen play? I mean, were you not watching him on TV? Like, you've actually been in the ballpark and you watched him play. My answer is Hank Aaron. I got to see Hank Aaron play when he played with the Brewers against the Red Sox. But I want to know from you guys, what's the greatest Hall of Famer that you've seen play?
T, I'll let you go first here, T, because I'm pretty sure we have the same answer on this one, but go for it.
I've got two, Tony Gwynn and Ricky Henderson. Like nobody, Ricky Henderson, like it was crazy that I don't know how it was. Oh man. I just remember the one memory I have that stands out is when I was living in San Diego and Ricky Henderson hit a home run to break the runs record and he slid into home plate. That was super awesome to see. But Ricky Henderson could put you down, put your opponent down 1-0 in one pitch. And he did it a lot. And that guy could turn a single into a double like it was nothing. He revolutionized the sport. And then Tony Gwynn just hit, like, he was just purely the best hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, and I think I've told you guys this story before, but I don't think I've shared it with our audience yet. So for me, Tony Gwynn, definitely. I was very fortunate as a young broadcaster. I reached out to Matt Vasgersian, one of my favorite play-by-play guys of all time, Santa Maria. And I was just looking for some guidance as I waded my way into play-by-play broadcasting, and just happened to have him on my morning show, and reached out to him and asked if I could ever pick his brain. And Matt was so willing to help. I ended up going out to San Diego for a 3-game series against the Reds. I'm in the booth, you know, the first couple of days, and got a chance to have some grub with Matt and just bend his ear. I show up to the ballpark Sunday for the last game of the series, and you know, I had gotten to the broadcast booth before Matt had gotten up there, and I walked in, and you know, somebody was sitting down, and I take my seat in the back where they had me sitting, and Matt walks in and he starts talking to this guy I didn't know, and as soon as I heard the voice, it was Tony freaking Gwynn, and I've kicked myself every day since this, because I don't think, because I was so young, I didn't really grasp who the hell I was sitting with, and even watching Tony Gwynn play was so much fun. And my second one, Barry Bonds, and I'm never going to get off of that pulpit that Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially the people that didn't get to see Bonds, you know, a lot of people forget that the dude was a Hall of Famer before anything happened. He was everything. He could steal bases. He was a great defender. The guy was a great hitter, you know, and then, you know, we got into the 2000s and all the controversy came, but you know, it's not the Hall of Morals. It's the Hall of Fame for what you did on the field. And we'll always go down that road there. But yeah, Mac, for me, Tony Gwynn and Barry Bonds.
Cool. All right, Mike. I'm going to give you some questions tomorrow, the Open Championship. So your questions are going to be in regards to the Open Championship. TJ, I've got some baseball mascot trivia. So I want you to get ready. Baseball mascot trivia. Mike, here we go. We're going to start with you. Seve Ballesteros, he has won the Open Championship, but he accomplished which feat while winning the multiple Open Championships? Number one, he is the only player to win the Claret Jug on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. He is the only player to get a 2-stroke penalty in the first round because he was late to the first tee, or he's the only player to win by breaking par without hitting a fairway.
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. I would probably, because he was such a grinder and just knew how to hit golf shots out of anything, anywhere, I would say par without hitting a fairway.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the correct answer is he's the only one to win on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. He won in 1979, the last time it was a Saturday finish. He won traditionally on a Sunday in 1984. And then 1988, he won on a Monday because of the rain. Must have been a lot of rain. I don't really remember, but yeah, a lot of rain, but he won on a Monday. All right, T, here we go. Name for me the first team that had a mascot and who that mascot is.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. The first team to have a
I'll
mascot?
give you a hint. He's still the mascot.
Mr. Met.
You are right. 1964, Mr. Met was the first mascot. Here we go. All right, Mike. Well, I'll give you an easy one. Which course in the Rotunda has hosted the most Open Championships? I'm not even going to give you ones to pick from because you know who it is. Just give us the answer.
Muirfield.
No, St. Andrews. St. Andrews is our answer.
I'm not good at golf trivia. Like, I suck at it.
Tony, here we go. There are 3 teams that do not have mascots. Can you name the 3 teams?
Can I name the? Oh boy, the New York Yankees, the LA Dodgers, and the Anaheim Angels.
That is correct. Man, he knows his mascot trivia. Okay, Mike, here we go. We're gonna get you on the right spot.
Rally monkey when you need him.
Yeah, no, he's the unofficial mascot. Lowest score to par in an Open Championship goes to this golfer.
Tiger Woods.
You got it. All right. Very good. All right, here we go.
Tigre.
TJ, can you name the only mascot that has been ejected from a baseball game?
Oh, crap. Oh, it's the Philly Fanatic.
No.
The San Diego Chicken.
No. The correct answer is, and I'm surprised you didn't get this because you're Mr. Canada.
Youppi.
From the Montreal Expos.
You would think the Fanatic had been tossed before some of the shit he does.
Yeah, no joke. What is the one links course that Tom Watson has not won the Open at? St. Andrews, Royal Troon, or Muirfield?
I'm going to go with Royal Troon on that one.
Correct answer is St. Andrews. He has never won at St. Andrews.
St. Andrews is screwing me over in this game.
They are. All right. Now, as you know, mascot races are all over the place. Tony, how many teams have mascot races?
I knew he was going to make you talk about running wieners and sausages at some point here.
I'm going to say 3.
All right. So let's go through this. We know what's the most famous one?
The Brewers sausage races.
The Brewers, yeah. Bratwurst, Italian sausage, the old Polish sausage, and the chorizo. That's number 1. Okay, the next famous one is in Washington. The President's Race. Do we know the President's, Mike?
What? Washington, Jefferson.
Come on. Interact.
Lincoln.
And Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, very good. All right. The Guardians, they also have a race that is condiment oriented. Ketchup, mustard, onions, and spicy. Okay? But I bet you didn't know these next 2. Okay?
I thought it would have been.
I don't make this up. I'm just telling you. Do you know the New York Mets have a race?
Oh, I know that one.
What is it?
It's don't they do like the 5 boroughs of New York?
Do you know what the mascots are? Brooklyn.
Queens,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
No, let's start with Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
The Bridge. What the
No.
hell are you doing?
Pizza.
Are you loading a bowl?
I'm eating pizza. The pizza slice.
Where's Billy
Okay?
B when we need
Manhattan.
him?
Yeah. Manhattan.
It's a
It's
Jasper.
Apple.
What?
Manhattan's the apple.
Nope.
Nope.
Manhattan is the skyscraper. Staten Island is the ferry. The Bronx is the giraffe. And Queens is the subway. Now, I know you're going to get this last one because there's one more. The Padres have one. Do you know what the Padres race is?
I can't see. I don't know this one. I know they have one, but I can't remember the last time I was sober at a Padres game. I do one thing when I go to San Diego. I eat and I drink.
I don't remember what they.
The Padres have
Isn't it the Friars?
No, it's the Anchorman race. The Anchorman race. Ron Burgundy, Cheb Kine, Brian Fantana, Brick Thomas. Yes, those are the five. So you have San Diego, the Mets, the Guardians, Washington, and Milwaukee. Those are your five mascot races. Boom.
Well done, Vegas Mac. That whole game just put me in a glass case of emotion.
I feel dumber. I feel
love
dumber
Lamp.
now.
I love Lamp. All right. Speaking of San Diego and other places, T, you had a chance to go to New York a few weeks ago. You even got a bonus day in New York that you weren't planning on having, and you got a chance to go to Yankee Stadium. And before we get into the depths of this, I mean, because we've all been to a lot of ballparks, and I know a lot of our followers and our watchers out there have been to some good ones too. So please share your selections on this one. But before we get into, everybody has those bucket list sports items and venues and destinations and what have you. What were your thoughts when you walked into Yankee Stadium, and what was that experience like for you since it was so recent?
It was, well, I mean, so it all started with when we were talking about how we were going to get there. And I said, there's only one choice of getting there. You have to take the train to the stadium. There's no Uber. There was like 15 of us that went. It's like, we're not taking an Uber XXXXL. I'm taking the train. So that was the first part of the experience, was getting on the train. And people are like, well, how do we know where to go? Well, yeah, follow the Yankee fans, because they're going to tell you where to go. Mm-hmm. And so we're crammed in the train, right? Like literally crammed in the train. And then the train comes out of the subway, and it comes and you can see outside, and then the stadium's right there. And it's amazing because they have, all the homage to all the former Yankee greats. They have all the MVPs, all the images on the walls of the stadium. And it's really like, it's just one of those things that it's like, man, there's been, you don't really think about it a lot, but think about how many players have played for the Yankees. Like, and just think about how many great players have played for the Yankees. And it's just one of those things where you walk in, you're like, holy smokes, this place is unreal. And it's all the history is there. And we go up to the seats, and it's just ginormous inside. And you're just looking and like, oh, and then they do the roll call, and the roll call was like, this is, that was really cool to be a part of. And then just the experience of just being there was super fun.
Speaking of Mr. Yankee himself, there he is. I told you we had somebody that was watching us on the islands this week. Aloha, Billy. Hey, Mac, I have it on good authority that you have an experience at Yankee Stadium that maybe you want to share with us, or I mean, it can't get any worse than you describing the jack off earlier. So
no, so we were going to with my family to a Yankees game. I probably had this exact shirt on. So, right off the bat, and they weren't playing the Red Sox that day. Let me get that straight. They were playing the one of these teams that no longer exists called the Oakland Athletics.
Who?
And so it was kind of jerky on me. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it was post 9/11, and I had young kids, and we had a bag, and it wasn't going to fit the parameters of what they wanted at Yankee Stadium, and I was getting a little pissed off at all the Yankee fans around me and whatnot, and they tried to tell me, well, if you go to this bowling alley across the street, you can pay for a locker and put your bag in there. And I'm like, oh yeah, me, smart ass Boston man with a Red Sox shirt's gonna walk into a Yankees bowling alley and expect one to come out alive, and my bag's gonna be there when I get back. I'm like, screw you. Like, that ain't gonna happen. So yeah, somehow we managed to make it through that day. But yeah, I wasn't the nicest person, but yeah, but we made it. We made it through.
That's the irony here is that both of you went to Yankee Stadium and both of you saw the artist formerly known as the Oakland A's. Interesting stuff. So
that's kind of funny.
When TJ was sharing those pictures and everything, it got me thinking. And obviously this is it's weird when you look at the sports calendar. There ain't a damn thing going on tonight. Shane Gillis is hosting the ESPYs, though. That will be probably very entertaining tonight. But it made me think of, like, we all have those bucket list moments, or we've been to that one place we always wanted to go in sports, and it was just, you walk in and you get goosebumps. And for me, there was a couple of them, and I know we've each got a couple of them. And I'll start here, and it made me think of it because last night seeing the All-Star game at Truist Park and seeing them do the pregame show outside, I'm like, I drank in that bar, I drank in that bar, I drank in that bar. The Battery in Atlanta, the district, walking up to the ballpark is incredible. Paid for the premium seats, like an hour rain delay, 40th birthday, go down underneath into the club, got more than my money's worth of what they offered there. But I got a chance to go see Billy Donovan's Gators during their run in the O-Dome, and they were playing Liberty. So it was a random game in like early January before SEC play started, but the place was packed to the freaking gills. When they came out, and then the PA announcer goes out and he's like, "Here come the Gators," and I'm like right now, dude, like that was like one of my teams, and getting to see that in that setting. My other one, I'll get to it here in a second. Matt, give me one of yours that gives you the chills when you still talk about it.
Well, I mean, I was lucky. I've gone to a couple of games at the Boston Garden. I've been to the old Montreal Forum. I have one that I want to talk about later, but one that I'll share with you first. The Celtics used to play a couple of games every year at the Hartford Civic Center, the mall where the Hartford Whalers played. And so we got there early, and it's a mall. It's legitimately a mall, and in the second floor is the hotel. And so the hotel, the players would come down the escalator. And so this night the Celtics were playing the Indiana Pacers. So the first part of this is kind of cool. We got there pretty early. I was with my dad. We were going up the escalator to go to the hotel just so we could see some players. And coming down the escalator were three Boston Celtics. I'll never forget. Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, and Casey Jones. And my dad lifted me up and gave me to Robert Parrish. And I rode down the escalator with Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, and Casey Jones, and then walked with them the rest of the way. I mean, that was like a just a kind of surreal moment. I mean, it wouldn't happen anymore. The other one in that same one, there was a young Indiana Pacers player who was walking down. I knew he was a basketball player because he was big and tall and he had a big old bag. And I'll never forget to this day, I was walking with him and talking. He took his bag and he put the bag over my shoulders. And he had a couple of pairs of shoes and he signed a pair of shoes for me and he gave them to me. But I must have walked the whole way with him. Nicest guy in the world. I've been a fan ever since and still am. and that's Clark Kellogg.
Hmm.
Very cool.
Nice. T, what's one for you?
I too have also been to the Montreal Forum, but I was there after they stopped playing hockey there, and they turned it into a mall and a movie theater, and that was kind of disappointing. But I did see Austin Powers Goldmember in that theater just for fun. I went to Wrigley in '97 just on a whim, just like we were able to go to Chicago for cheap, and so we just went, and that was like before. So if you've seen Wrigley recently with all the modern accoutrement, none of that's there. The bathroom was still a trough, and it was just really cool. We got seats first base line, like 6 rows from the top or something. But just to be in that environment was so amazing. Like it was like, whoa, this place is really cool. They jammed the parking in like as close as you could get, and just wandering around and enjoying the environment there. It was all just good vibes, and then the Cubs lost in typical Cubs fashion, but it is what it is. Just being there was surreal. I'd love to get back because I haven't been back since. I'd love to get back and see how it is now. Maybe they still have the trough. I don't know.
Probably. My second one, Matt, you'll appreciate this one a lot. Fenway Park. I mean, we stayed in Back Bay. We walked through Fenway Park, which is like not the actual stadium, to get to Fenway Park. Got to party around the entire ballpark. As soon as we got in, we walked right up to the monster. The security guard was really cool. He looked at me and he goes, "Not from here, huh?" And I go, "Gee, what gave that one away?" And he goes, "Hurry up, don't get me in trouble." So I got to take a picture up there. We had great seats right behind home plate, and as the sun started to set, and you have that panoramic view, and like the thing that I remember and it's happening again. When I walked in there, all you smelled was piss, peanuts, and beer, and it was like
green,
otherworldly. Like when I walked in there, I mean, I walked every inch of the ballpark. Hell, I think I walked every inch of the entire city of Boston when we were there. Incredible experience, incredible fans. Definitely somewhere I can't wait to get back to. But that experience, they were playing the Twins. I mean, it was good times, man. Fenway, if you've never been to Fenway, and I know, Mac, you can speak on this. If you've never been to Fenway, it is an absolute must go, and one of the very few stadiums that I hope never go away in their current form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I've obviously been there a lot of times, but it's just the ramp walking up. No matter where gate you go to, you walk up and you get a glimpse of the grass, and then before you know it, boom, the monster's there. You know, the one moment I remember, 1999, it's a Fenway moment as well. You know, my whole life, my grandpa had always taken me to Fenway, and I finally got a chance to pay him back. You know, this is the first time I actually bought the tickets and I drove him to Fenway. We knew it was going to be the last time we ever saw a Red Sox game together. There we are. We knew it was going to be the last time we ever got a chance to see a game together. It just happened to be in the playoffs in 1999. The Red Sox were playing the Indians. They had dropped the first 2 games of the series. They had to win this game. It was a Saturday night. Martinez was on the mound. No, not Pedro. It was Ramon Martinez was on the mound. And the Red Sox battled back in this game. They were down most of the game. They had a big 6-run, I think it was like 7th inning. They remember they got a couple guys on. John Valentin had a double. The Red Sox ended up winning that game by a score of 9-3, closed out by Rod Beck, of all people. I know that'll be a name that'll bring maybe a smile to your face. Yeah. I mean, and then the Red Sox, this was the beginning of the comebacks for the Red Sox, because they won the next night like 22-7 or something like that. And then the infamous Game 5 against Cleveland, where the Red Sox were down in the 3rd inning and they brought in Pedro Martinez, and he pitched the last 6 innings, no hits, no runs, and they ended up beating. Now you say, remember that this is the Cleveland Indians team that was absolutely, loaded. Kenny Lofton, Roberto Alomar, Manny Ramirez, Tomey, David Justice, Fryman, Alomar. Like this was in the height of the, the Indians, or excuse me, the Guardians run. But that was the last time I went to a game with my grandpa. The place shook like I've never seen Fenway Park shake in my life. And I had been to, to that point, probably 50 or 60 times, but it was just, the beginning of what was a lot of playoff victories to come for the Red Sox. But that place, I mean, I got a little worried because I was afraid it was going to fall apart. But it was just, an amazing experience.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. Like that makes me think of like my all-time favorite baseball experience was the 1989 National League Championship Series, the Giants and the Cubs. And the irony was Les Lancaster was playing for the Cubs at the time. And later in my life, I was a young kid during that series. We all know what happened in the World Series with the Loma Prieta earthquake, but I've talked about it a million times on the show. Like Will Clark's swing, he was my favorite baseball player growing up, and he hits that double off of Wild Thing Mitch Williams, almost takes his freaking head off right up the middle. We were there with a family friend of ours and his son, and that was back when you could sneak beers in Pringles cans. Not that I've ever seen my dad and his friends do that at Candlestick Park, but a lot of stuff like that. All right, guys, in that same vein, so we all have our bucket list. Like, I have not been here moments. I need to get here before I die. Like, I always wanted to see the Boston Garden, the original one. The original Yankee Stadium, stuff like that. But bucket list, you got to get to this venue. You want to go see this. I'll start with you, T. Where's that one place that you absolutely have to get to before your time is done? You've got to go see a game here. And I'm starting with you, and I know both of you guys can talk in the same vein here, but you still go to a lot of concerts. You're going to one I know you can't wait to get to at the freaking Rose Bowl, which is going to be incredible. But where's that bucket list? Haven't done it yet. Got to do it. Maybe I'm hinting on some future Mike Arana show road trips also, by the way.
I would love to see just one of those banger concerts at Madison Square Garden. I've seen the Rangers there. I've seen the Knicks there, but I've never seen a show there. And I think that would be like it says right on the outside, like once you play the Garden, you've made it. And I would just love to see someone huge that I really like play at Madison Square Garden. I think that would be incredible.
Mac?
I want to go to the Trop. No, just joking.
They might ask you to rebuild the roof while you're there.
I've been lucky. I mean, I've gone. Yeah, I know. I've been lucky. I mean, I've been to a lot of the biggies. I've been to the Garden. I've been to the Forum. I've been to Madison Square Garden. I even went to Old Yankee Stadium. So I mean, I've kind of been I've kind of been lucky. I don't think that there's one like in particular that I'd like to go, but what I would like to do is I'd like to finish and be able to say I've been to all the major league stadiums. And I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless they keep going, I have about 8 more that I need to get to because some have been rebuilt. So there isn't just one. I just want to say that I've been to them all. I think that would be a fun accomplishment.
Yeah, and I think any living, breathing male baseball fan has that as an accomplishment. Like I'm definitely not where I want to get to. A good friend of mine from childhood, we're trying to get to the K before the K is no longer, to see the Giants there. We got to see the Giants play in Detroit a couple of years ago. I've been to Truist, Fenway. I've never been to Wrigley, never been to Yankee Stadium. I've literally pissed on the fence at Dodger Stadium with the parking lot closed, and that's about all I care to get close to Dodger Stadium ever again in my life.
You know what? Now that I thought about it for a second, I do have one. I kind of forget about it because we've been kind of talking about baseball, but I'll go back. I've seen the Steelers play here, but we've talked about this. I've never seen the Steelers play at It's Heinz Field for me. I mean, I've never seen the Pittsburgh Steelers play in Pittsburgh. That is, I would say, if you're talking bucket list things, for me, that would be I want to go to a game in Pittsburgh, wave my terrible towel, and win, lose, or draw, just go to a game and see the Steelers play in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to take you two boneheads to the swamp for the first time. That is an experience. I mean, SEC football in itself is an experience. If you've never been to an SEC football game, go to Oxford, go to Rocky Top, screw Georgia, go to the swamp. I mean, it is when we talk about the whole experience, not just going to a game, SEC does it better than anybody. And we will make an appearance at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Shh, you're not supposed to call it that anymore. For me, I know I've talked to TJ about this one before, Mac. My dream trip. I've never been to New York. I know at this stage in life, I'll probably only get there one time, but I want, and this is where I need Gary and Rob to work with me here. I want to go to New York and spend some extended time there, spend about a week, 10 days, see everything there is to see in New York. But to get there when I can see the Sharks play at Madison Square Garden and get the Garden experience, a Ranger hockey game has always been at the top of my bucket list. And on the same trip, be able to see the Giants play at Yankee Stadium. I mean, I'm asking for perfection in both schedules there. And we'll talk a little bit about the NHL schedule, which is far from perfection, probably a little bit tomorrow. But to do that trip, and if I get there and the Sharks are playing at MSG and I can see a Yankee game, I'll be all right with that. But that to me, to see those two things happen on the same trip would be, I don't know if I'd ever travel to see a sporting event again. We've talked about it on the show a lot of times. I don't do the NFL games anymore. I've been to a couple Cardinal Seahawks games for the fiance and purposely got club seats so we didn't have to be around the drunken idiots. The NFL game experience for me is just, I have zero interest. I mean, maybe that's me being spoiled growing up when I did in the Bay Area and our family having season tickets to the Niners and all that stuff. But the NFL game doesn't do anything for me. My dad was thrown off a couple of weeks ago, Mac, when you asked me if I got a golden ticket and I could go to any game anywhere. And as soon as our show got done, he sends me a text and he goes, "You'd really pick hockey tickets for life for anything?" Hell yeah. I'm going to jump on a plane, get to Game 7 in Edmonton. Why not? I mean, that's the thing. So fun stuff. Tomorrow, we've got to look forward here. The trade deadline as of tomorrow will be 14 days away in Major League Baseball. We already got a big trade today. Adam Frazier on the move. A lot of you guys are going, is Adam Frazier still playing? Yes, he was traded today. Interesting stuff, some interesting teams. We're also going to revisit our picks from the beginning of the season, some of which are disastrous. I'm going to give you guys and myself a chance to trade two of your preseason picks in baseball in for new ones, and then you're stuck with the rest of them. A lot of other stuff going on. Just a couple news and notes before we get up on out of here. As Mac alluded to at the top of the show, Bradley Beal has been bought out by the Suns, set to join the Clippers. Have fun with that one, Los Angeles. Cool move here, and I know both of you guys will think this is a cool move as well because of who it is. Nate Eovaldi snubbed from the baseball all-star game, and the Rangers are giving him his all-star bonus. So classy move by the Rangers there. And that is the unfortunate thing about, the way the all-star game voting is. You see guys, and it does mean a lot to them because a lot of these guys have contract incentives. So I think really cool to see an organization that says, hey, Nate, you were an all-star and, you should have been there and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. That is an experience I want to see.
That new stadium looks incredible, by the way. Holy smokes. That place looks amazing.
Yeah, and long overdue for Bills fans there. Any final thoughts in the middle, Vegas Mac?
Just be careful if you have a swing off tonight.
It's a swing off now. TJ, would you like to follow that one?
I'm just trying to be correct. Because
no. I'm done.
That's probably a wise choice. The look on Mac's face and trying to get that out as a swing off. Unbelievable. Thanks to everybody that was commenting along today. We will be back tomorrow. Again, next Wednesday, a big announcement for us about what's to come in football season. We think you're going to like it. We like it. And there's going to be more of us. The Open Championship, Mike versus Mac tonight, as I attempt to get my way back into this. I played some strategery against Mac. We'll see if it works. Next week, if it doesn't, I might just throw pasta on the wall with guys' names on it, and whoever sticks to the wall will be my picks for the next golf tournament, because that's about how it's been going. So for everybody behind the scenes, for TJ, for Vegas Mac, Mike, we'll talk to you same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. We're out.